What's going on, everyone? Vampyr Gaming here, and if you haven't heard the breaking news, shocking news, today we're going to talk about the upcoming One Piece trading card game collab with PSA. I'm also going to try and cover any questions you may have about the process, where it's eligible, and also share my thoughts on the value. So what you need to do to get this card is you're going to need to sign up for a Collectors Club subscription. It's an annual subscription. You technically get more than you pay. I recommend signing up for the standard if you're signing up to get this card, because you'll get $20 loop credits for over the course of 6 months. So you don't get them all right away, and you'll get some Fanatics live credit in a few days. They will email you a code for your $60. So if you're big into sports cards, this is great. Loop, of course, is also another app. Feel free to check it out, do your research. But so in theory, you get $180 to spend for essentially the $149 a year, and you'll get the card and any other collabs they do in the coming months. It is auto renewal, so be sure to set a reminder to cancel or go in and cancel the membership after subscribing. In order to cancel your membership, you're going to want to go over here to PSA memberships. Then it'll take you to this page where you can go here and click on edit recurring membership payment. This is what is going to allow you. After enrolling, you'll want to email support. I'll show you how to do that in the moment. But you'll want to tell them that you want the Pop Culture and TCG magazine. This is what the form looks like, and then I'll show you how to access that once you're in your account. Once you go into your account, you'll want to come over here to help and support, and then you'll want to fill in your information, and you'll put, hello, I'd like to enroll in the TCG and Pop Culture magazine. And it's really as simple as that. You'll have to, I think I just submitted mine under other/general questions. You are only allowed to make the switch once, but as it stands right now, and the only way to do that is currently through the PSA support. Technically there's a sign up page, but it didn't work for me, so I just highly recommend doing this just to be absolutely sure that you get your Luffy leader that you are wanting, because obviously you're paying $150 essentially to get this card. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into some questions. So I think the biggest questions that I've seen so far have been, when do you have to sign up? You do have to sign up by May 31st, according to PSA. I do encourage you to try not to wait for the last minute, because I don't know how the magazine subscription works, right? And I signed up through the pop culture side, but according to their customer service, I still had the sports magazine. So we just want to be absolutely sure and play it safe, since, of course, especially with this, PSA already has super congested customer service. Just because them being the titans and leaders in grading. They have a ton of inquiries. They've continually just scaled up their presence throughout the past 4 years. And so definitely just try to get that in, make sure that you're set up, because I don't know if you have to be enrolled in the magazine or just the subscription. And then what if you're already a member? If you're already a member, you'll want to contact their support to make sure you're enrolled. Or if you know you're not, you'll want to contact them to get switched over, so that way you can get that July issue that comes with that Luffy. And then I know some people have seen the monthly subscription. There is, but it's not for pop culture And TCG, from what I've seen, it looks to be just the regular sports magazine, because I know some people were talking about, oh, it's like $7 a month, which would be like Shonen Jump Days, which is an absolute steal. And the PSA account also just referred to the Collectors Club, so it does seem to be something as it stands right now exclusive to that, and I'm sure it's to try to scale as they've, like, you know, increased pricing and all of that. Just a big marketing push, and it works. I mean, it converted me. I already graded with PSA, so it's just a no-brainer. And then yeah, so just don't get the monthly sub. And then I think the biggest thing is a ton of people in One Piece. Obviously, it's worldwide. Is this available internationally? And it should be available. You will likely have to pay import and customs according to your local country's guidelines, and pay for shipping. But I know some people in the UK have, and I know they do Mexico, and they've gotten the magazines before, also with the Pokemon's pop culture ones, and the regular sports magazine on their site looks like it's available everywhere. So it is there, and honestly, if you're located in one of those other areas, I would see what it might run you in terms of shipping and whatnot, because it might be worth it. But yeah, so it should be available, and depending, because I'm assuming a lot of people are going to get them and then export them to other countries, similar to what we've seen with some other cards. But let's go ahead and talk about value. Is it worth it? If you grade with PSA at all, yes, absolutely, 100%. If you don't grade 20 or more cards, you know, you can save them up, and then you can get that bulk discount, which instantly makes it worth it. And then you can also get the $180 for Lupin Fanatics Live. So if you're big into sports cards, there might be some other gems on there, but definitely something to consider. I know, like, Gary V does breaks on there, so if you want to spend some money with him, that's cool. But yeah. Let's talk about just overall card value too. So is it worth it in terms of getting the card? Are you paying $150 for this card? And if you solely do that and don't submit, is it worth it? So the first thing we're going to talk about is this card is a leader card, which is forever playable and also highly collectible because it features all the Straw Hats. It also looks like the card is just dope. And so every single Straw Hat fan is going to want this card. And again, it is a decent leader on top of everything. So in terms of value, I was originally wrong. I was thinking that every single subscriber to PSA will get this in the magazine, but there are two different magazines. You have to be enrolled in the Pop Culture and TCG magazine, so many will need to convert, and we'll talk about how this affects the value. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at last month's issue of the Pop Culture TCG magazine PSA did, which was for Pokemon. So we're looking here, and we can see these magazines. So they did a couple of unique things. You can see here, they did 4 covers: Pikachu, Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur. But on top of that, you've just got the regular magazines, which you can see range from about $20 to $40. 40, of course, being that Charizard that we see. But they also have of 1,000 issues and of 100 issues. So if you use basic math, there's at least 4,400 of these that already exist. And because of that, we already know that there's going to be at least that many plus on top. So we've got a decent idea. And the magazine, this doesn't even include anything. This is just a magazine. So is it possible that our edition of the magazine is worth something? Sure, but I wouldn't count on it. Now, the other thing I'm going to take a look at is essentially a similar promo, but then also leaders that were kind of payment blocked as well. So the first card I really want to take a look at here is the Monkey D. Luffy from the Bandai Card Fest. This was given out to attendees at the Bandai Card Games Fest, or our nationals for the One Piece card game. There was also a Dragon Ball event and also Battle Spirits and Digimon Nats Battle Spirits Worlds at this event. All attendees, both players and participants, got this. I know a lot of people doubled up and got another. But I know One Piece had about 2,100 people show up for the main event. That's not including anything else. So I would estimate loosely is that there's about 8,000 of these out there, and I'm sure extras were given to judges if they had any. So probably about 8,000 or so. 8 to 10 I think is a very liberal number, ballpark for this. And you can see it started off very high. I bought one for $70. Joke's on me. And they slowly just went down because there was more supply than there was demand just at the end of the day, which is okay, but it's something to think about when it comes to this card, because this is also the iconic character Monkey D. Luffy, and it is an exclusive promo that you had to be at an event to receive. So we're looking at exclusivity. Now we're also going to look at like paywalled leaders. So here's Edward Newgate, of course, one of the more popular leaders, with the regular alt art being around $120 and this sitting at around $50. Holding that. I know that these have been delayed a bit, so I'm assuming that this will go down. But then we also have Ace here. This was a similar thing. The special goods, you bought in a box set and you got this leader, and they hold a decent amount of value. With these in mind, I did think that the Luffy would be a little less expensive. I would still say, because there are, of course, people who play like Pokemon and whatnot, kind of like all the Digimon players who got them with the Luffy promo. But I do think that this card is going to be at least $75. I would love to be wrong, but I could also see it. I'm sure when it first comes out, it's going to be 100 plus. The first few people to receive it might even get like 150, just because, you know, people didn't want to wait, people didn't hear about it, so many different things. I feel it'll do like this Luffy card did and slowly make its way down and cool off after a bit. You know, once the attention dies down, I've said it a million times, attention is the number one asset, but I do think this card could very well be a $75 to $100 card. And honestly, I like it in the long term. I, of course, grade with PSA. If you're considering grading, this might be that jump you need to get in. But if we're talking about value, I think it's there. If you're international, again, I think just because it's a lot harder, a lot of people would get them here, and then they'll export them internationally. I'm sure a lot of people are hitting up their friends who sub, trying to just get in on it. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you going to acquire this card? Are you going to sub just to get this card? I would love to hear your thoughts. And as always, if you found this content of value, if you could do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. It helps me out a ton. I make tons of One Piece content. My goal is to help you become a better competitive player and just kind of understand everything that's going on in the One Piece card game world. And thank you all so much for watching.